Before this video starts, I just wanted to say thank you. I weirdly feel like a little bit nervous, as if it's like the first time I've ever sat in front of a camera, and I don't really understand why. The reason I want to say thank you is that I have finally achieved a goal on YouTube that I have been working towards for the past 169 videos over the past 3 years. And I can finally say that I've been able to hit that goal, tick that box, and I'm really happy. And if you don't know what that goal is, it's me hitting 1,000 subscribers. Whenever I started YouTube, I was like, okay, I want to hit 100 videos. And then I quickly realized that no, it's not like the video thing that really matters to me. I just want to hit 1,000. The number doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't mean like my videos are going to stop. It's just a number. It's just something that I wanted to achieve. It's what that number means. And to me, it means just working towards something no matter what, talking to like nobody, 2 or 3 people. And I've finally been able to hit that goal. I'm really happy with myself. I'm really happy with the lovely community that I've been able to build here on YouTube. I want to start like a little Discord server where everybody who loves movies, who watches my videos, can come together and chat about movies, but I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to set that up this week. But if I do, it's going to be in the description. I just wanted to say a massive thank you. I have some little notes on my phone, and yeah, I'm just very proud of myself, very proud of everybody that watches, and a massive thank you to the people who comment on every single video, who watch every single video. You know exactly who you are. You are the reason that despite me getting like 10 views every single week, I still make these videos, because it's just nice to know that you're making these videos for somebody, even if it's for 1 or 2 people. Again, it's not really a massive number. It's just what that number means. And I don't think this is going to change anything. I still love making videos every single week. I get so excited whenever I post a video, and I get very upset when I have to skip a week. And I think that means something, definitely. And it's just cool not to give up on something. And I also think it's definitely partially luck, because like some of my videos have gotten like 20,000 views, and they're not even like great videos, but it's just crazy. But at the end, it's always about movies. I love movies so much. So I just wanted to say a massive thank you. And yeah, let's get into this video. Today, I'm going to be talking about everything that I have watched so far in 2025. I'm not feeling the best. I'm quite sick. And I'm also working on a cool video for next week that I'm actually really excited about. So today I wanted to just sit down and have like a chat where I show everything that I've watched so far in 2025. And if you've been watching my videos, you know that I'm not trying to pressure myself with movies this year. I'm just trying to watch things that I want to watch. And I've been doing that because this year I've watched 64 movies so far, and they're movies that I've been actually really enjoying. I've been really loving, well, some of them. And I wanted to show you what I've been watching so far this year, as I've just said. So I'm going to scooch over here. I'll display my screen over here or something like that, and I'll show you the movies that I've watched so far in 2025. Okay, so here is my letterbox. As you can see, I have watched 64 movies this year. And if you've been watching my videos, you'd know that I'm really just trying to watch movies that I want to watch, and I'm not really forcing myself. But I think 64 for the 19th of March is quite good. I'm also not really rating movies this year. At the start I did, and then I realized it just puts weird, unnecessary pressure on me to try come up with like star ratings and all that sort of stuff for movies that I've been watching. But anyway, we're not really here to be talking about that. We're here to talk about what I have watched so far in 2025. As you can see, this is how I ended my 2024, and this is how I started my 2025. I started my year off with Nosferatu, which I really enjoy the aesthetics, the acting, just the entire vision. But just the last hour of the movie dragged on so much for me, and I found myself getting bored, and I thought it was just me. But when I asked my girlfriend, who was also there with me, she agreed. And I heard a lot of people saying this, and it felt very like sluggish, and then I guess it kind of just ruined parts of the movie for me. But anyway, then I watched 13 Going on 30, which I really enjoyed. Then I watched The Woman in the Window, which had beautiful cinematography. Just the story was a bit meh, a bit boring at times. Irreversible, if you know, you know, just a very disturbing, it feels weird to say great movie, but it is a great movie. I really enjoy Gaspar Noé, and he never fails to shock me. Yeah, I really enjoy this movie. It's just a very difficult watch, and the ending just really hits you. Yeah, it's some stuff. Then I watched Good One, which is very interesting coming of age type of movie where a girl and her dad's friend go on a camping trip. And yeah, that's all I'm just going to say. Then I watched Baby Girl. This movie got a lot of hate. I think it was just because of the marketing being a little bit misleading, but I really enjoyed it, love the aesthetics, and it just kind of feels like the early 2000s rom-com type of movies. are coming back, but with a little bit spicier, I suppose, and a little bit more elevated. Then I watched Passages, which is a movie for me in every single way. I loved this movie so much because I don't know, it ticks every box for me that I want in a movie. It's about people being self-destructive, having dependency issues, acting very selfishly but not really thinking of the repercussions, and then just thinking that they're like the main character in their own world. And it's just a very beautiful movie that I highly recommend that you watched. Then I watched Summer of 84. Why can I not speak? It's because I'm a little bit sick, which I found to be fine. It's just one of those movies that's there's like it's a murder mystery set like in the 80s that kind of like looks at that type of, you know, like the Stranger Things type of aesthetic. I hate comparing it to Stranger Things, but you know what I mean. Then I watched All We Imagine as Light, and this is just an absolute beautiful, poetic movie about longing. And it's one of these movies that has just stayed with me the entire year, and I just loved it so much. Then I watched John Prine live on soundstage. I love John Prine. He is one of my favorite musicians, one of my favorite lyricists, and he's just incredible. And then David Lynch passed away, which was very heartbreaking and one of those weird parasocial things that actually hit me quite a lot. So I watched The Alphabet, Mulholland Drive, Wizard of Oz, and yeah, very emotional watches. Beautiful watches, and yeah, I kind of forgot how much I loved Mulholland Drive, and I've not watched it since being maybe like a teenager, and this movie just it works so much more for me now as a grown-up, I suppose. Then I watched A Real Pain. It kind of feels like Before Sunrise. The writing is incredible, the acting is incredible, the pace is just perfect, everything just flows perfectly in this movie. Then I watched Reality Plus, which is Coralie Farge. I think I'm saying her name incorrectly. As always, The Substances, what's it called? The Substances director. Yes, and it's just kind of cool to see like little sprinkles of what she has become now as a director, and I really enjoyed it. It's on Mubi, so I definitely recommend that you check it out if you're into The Substance or Revenge. Then I watched Wild at Heart, and out of all the Lynch movies, I didn't really expect to love this because a lot of people were like, well, it's, you know, it's blah blah blah. Loved it so much. This movie made me cry, especially the ending. The aesthetic, I loved it so much. And actually a cinema near me is showing this in like a few weeks, and I cannot wait to go watch this in the cinema. Then I watched The Novice, which was about somebody getting into rowing. Rowing, is that the right sport? Yes, rowing, and becoming not even obsessed, but just ruining her life. And it's not even a passion, it's just to prove herself. And it was a very interesting watch. And then this is such a beautiful short. It's about, well, as I said here in my in my review, I said absolutely poetic commentary from the director. 50 years later, hindsight allows him to dissect his relationship, its rocky foundations, and its inevitable crumble, all told in a beautiful but heartbreaking way. Such a great short. Then Deadware, I don't even remember this horror movie. It was all kind of like filmed on the screen, really low budget, which I respect, but yeah, it was fine. My House Walkthrough, this is one of the most terrifying horror shorts I've ever watched in my life. It's on YouTube, and I highly recommend that you check it out. It's about a guy who just walks around his house. He just laps around his house, but as he's walking around, things change and you expect jump scares and all this, but that doesn't happen. It's literally just the atmosphere that makes this horror movie feel terrifying. Then I rewatched Black Swan, which I really enjoyed. It's been years since I watched it. I feel like if you pair this movie with The Wrestler, it's really interesting to compare the worlds. For example, the Black Swan is that kind of like the elite, you know, the elite world or whatever, and the wrestler movie kind of focuses on kind of like the lower class sports, and it's just very interesting how they contrast. A lot of comparisons to be made, but very beautiful movie, and it's the horror really creeps up. It's great. And then I watched I'm Your Woman, which is a very weird movie about a woman who's forced to go on the run after her husband betrays her, and it's just a weird kind of like character development movie that you don't really expect to be about character development. Then I Saw the Devil, which was so gruesome, so like bleh. Then I finished January with Jacob's Ladder, which was a very beautiful but heartbreaking movie about transitioning from life to death. Then I watched A Nonsense Christmas with Sabrina Carpenter at the start of February. Don't ask. Also, don't really understand the jokes and the humor. I couldn't tell if it was very painful to watch. I love Sabrina. I love her music, but all the jokes and just I felt very like corporate humor or something. But anyway, then I watched An Odd Turn. I don't even remember I don't really remember what this is. Oh yeah, I watched this whilst being sick, surprise surprise, and I did not care for it at all. Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance. Graphic and gruesome as always. Watched Sing Sing and I cried. I love this movie so much. I love from what it's trying to say, from the acting, from how it's shot. It almost feels like a documentary. It never feels too invasive at times. Like the camera knows exactly what it's doing and it just worked. And then I followed that up with The Wild Robot, which was also extremely emotional, which yeah, it was a crazy combo to have. Then I watched Bolero, Good Thanks You, and Exhuma. Didn't really care about Exhuma just because I didn't really know the history, but once I did a little bit of research, I was like, oh, that's interesting, but I also wish I kind of knew the history before watching it. Then I watched April Story, which is such a beautiful, I keep saying coming of age, but it's about a girl who just moves to university, and then you find out why she moves to university, and it's just, the story is told in such a beautiful way. Then I watched Treevenge, which is the weirdest horror movie ever. It's about a load of Christmas trees who take revenge on those who are cutting them down for Christmas. Then I watched Gaspar Noé's Love. Crazy that this was made, and I respect that this was made. There's so many graphic you know what scenes, and they're all real, but here's my review if you actually want to read it. But the writing is what, like, I understand it's trying to have this like atmosphere, this kind of like almost like pretentiousness. It's not really pretentiousness, that's not the right word, but kind of like this early 20s, mid 20s way of speaking, not really caring, and it tries to kind of like show that in the writing. But man, it just, the writing didn't work, but the cinematography, everything else did work, and obviously you know what I mean. Then I watched Climax, also Gaspar Noé's most probably like critically acclaimed movie. Crazy to watch this when you're sick. I felt like I was hallucinating and on many substances. Then I watched Companion, really enjoyed that. Then I watched this short called 95 Senses. I highly recommend that you watch this. There's a link on my Letterboxd. It's about an old man reflecting on the mistakes of his youth, and I'll say nothing else because you just have to trust me. Then I watched The Song of Moscow, which is a super short movie. Then I watched Matt and Mara, which is one of those movies where it's like, will they get together? Won't they get together? Kind of like a Before Sunrise type of thing where it's just load of chat, and yeah, you know, I really enjoyed it. Then I watched My Bloody Valentine. Then I watched Mr. Beast Games. I made an entire video on that, but Mr. Beast Games isn't on Letterboxd, so this is how I had to log it, and then I realized what that movie is about, and I was like, oh, not funny. Then I watched Jerry's Game, which is a Pixar short, Hell of Freedom, about a guy who returns to a town to try and meet his old partner, and it's told in a weird non-chronological way. Then I watched Finding Frances, Nathan For You Finding Frances, which is insane that this is real, that this was made, one of the best documentaries ever. Then I watched Presence, which is incredible. I loved it. I loved how it was filmed. It's one of these movies that has stayed with me. It's a ghost story told from the perspective of a ghost, and if that doesn't sell you, I don't really know what will. Then I watched This Closeness. Some of the performances here were just, it's about a couple who go to an Airbnb and they're staying with somebody, and then it just has, it's just weird relationship dynamics, friendship dynamics or whatever, and you're not really sure who to blame, and it's interesting in that regard. I just kind of thought it fell apart at times and I just didn't really care for it. Then I watched a beautiful movie in every way. It's a perfect movie. It's perfect. It's perfect. Then I watched The Empty Man. Beautiful cinematography, crazy that it's so long, but just again the ending and like kind of like the reveal or whatever just lost me. Sometimes I think about dying. This is one of these movies, it either works for you or just doesn't work for you at all, and if you can't tell, it worked for me. I loved Sometimes I Think About Dying. I think it just captures that mentality absolutely perfectly. Yeah, I loved it. Then I watched the short The Debutante, which is drawn or animated or whatever in a very beautiful way. Then I finally watched Anora, which I loved it so much. I even got an Anora poster. Yeah, I love it so much. Maybe I'll try put in a clip here. I have so much to say about Anora that I'm not even going to start wasting your time, but I loved Anora so much. Sean Baker, one of the best. Then I'll do some quick reviews here. Then we have de l'Avance, which is about a guy who's selling a painting of his past, whose grandparents who have passed away, just kind of like this moral thing. Higher Ties, Thelma, Bo come together, and Mickey 17. Watched all of those, enjoy them. Mickey 17 is getting way too much hate. It's okay to have surface level social commentary because it's important to those who don't really like engage in that type of stuff. Loads. Then I watched How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies. Made me extremely emotional. The Perfect Host, which was meh. Exit Through the Gift Shop, an incredible documentary. I'm Not a Robot, great short. And then I watched a stand-up special, the only stand-up special I've watched this year, by Zoltan Kazas. I don't even know if I'm saying his name correctly, which I really enjoyed. It's always weird to watch a stand-up special on your own. But that is everything that I've watched so far in 2025. I've really enjoyed movies and everything that I've been watching so far this year. If you can't tell, I don't feel great. I'm quite sick, so maybe I'm just absolutely yapping. But this is everything that I've watched. It's just been beautiful, and I'm really excited to watch more movies, more TV shows. I've also watched Nathan For You, the TV show. I have like one season left, and I've been really enjoying it. Also trying to get more into TV shows, movies, and just everything, media, whatever it is. I just love this world. It is so great, and it's so fun for me to share this with you. And once again, thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. It means so much. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and let me know what you've watched recently. Maybe not like everything, but your favorite movies and your worst movies from 2025. I'm just really curious, so please let me know. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.